Welcome back to Creating Stuff with Jim. I'm Jim, and it's time to create something. Well, the Inferno build is moving along quite nicely. Like I said, in the last episode, we got the cross member all mounted up, so the drivetrain's all mounted. So now that we got it all mounted, now we're going to move on to putting the shifters in. We're at the triple stick that I already showed you in a previous video. We're actually going to mount that housing and the front shifter for the transfer case, and we're also going to mount the shifter for the transmission. Yes, I'm being a cheapskate. I'm using a shifter out of a 3rd gen 4Runner. It was free. It was given to me. And the only thing I really did to it was I took the park lockout, the park lockout system out, so it can be shifted at any time. So other than that, it's pretty much a stock shifter, but we got to see what we got to do to make it fit. So I say we need to get to work. Is, as you saw in the video when I built the transfer cases, and the video when I installed the triple stick on the rear case, the housing on the rear case, this is the forward section. I had to remove this in order to install the crawl box and the transfer case. So, but now I'm going to go ahead and install this, and along with the shifter for the front for the crawl box. So, but unfortunately, to do that, I got to cut a little bit of this, cut some sheet metal out. And don't worry about the interior of this truck. It's all coming out. Carpet's coming out. The seats I'm putting different seats in it, so I'm not worried about anything inside the cab of this truck. But I got to cut this out in order to put the triple stick in. Now I'm putting the triple stick in, but I'm not finishing the interior. The interior is going to be pretty much last. But I will tell you, after I mount the transmission shifter with this, the triple stick does come with a nice boot and a flange for it. It's all going to be done nice and pretty, but right now it's just getting this in. And probably the biggest reason I want to do it is I have an open transfer case right now. There's a big hole in the crawl box in the top where the shifter goes, and I feel better if I cap that off so there's no dust, dirt, or anything gets in there. So anyways, let's get started. And hey, that's all I got. Let's get started. All right, hopefully you guys can see. I got the camera up on the dashboard. So the first thing I got to do is I got to cut this carpet back a little bit. And like I said, this carpet's coming out anyways, but I'm going to use the plasma cutter to cut this open. So I just need to get a little bit more room in here. And like I said, the interior of this is going to be a project in itself, and it's going to be toward the end. So this truck was originally a manual transmission and now has an automatic, but the biggest thing is, since none of this drivetrain is meant to be here, the holes for the shifters really don't mean anything anymore. So we got to make our own. Now, and as I said, the crawl box, the front transfer case, has a gaping hole in it right now because it doesn't have a shifter. Well, I'm going to use the plasma cutter to cut this, and even if I wasn't, you need to cover the hole. So I'm going to take a rag, I'm going to put that inside where the shifter goes for the transfer case, and then in addition to that, I'm going to take a piece of scrap metal and put it on top of that, because I'm going to be putting fire in there with the plasma cutter, and that rag will end up catching on fire anyways. It's going to catch on fire no matter what. So that's just a little reassurance that nothing gets in there. So and I do keep a fire extinguisher handy, as you might have seen from one of my other videos. Wouldn't be the first time I caught something on fire. So one of these days I gotta sit here and just chat with the camera, tell you some funny stories about catching stuff on fire. It's unless I'm a fireman and all that, but it's amazing I didn't the amount of stuff I caught on fire by accident. I'm surprised I didn't meet firefighters before then. Anyways, let's quit my yakking. Let me get the compressor turned on, get the plasma cutter running, and let's do some work. Well, now you see the purpose for the rag and the steel plate, or aluminum plate. Now I got a nice big hole, and now you can see the true benefit of a triple stick, because that rear transfer case is all the way back here. So if I had the shifter going in the top of that, this bench seat wouldn't even work. I'm not using it anyways, but it just makes it real convenient. All 3 shifters are coming out right here. So let me quit my yakking. Let's get to work. And the final position of the shifters, like I said, we can bend them as we need, but when I go to build the interior, we're going to tackle that then. Now, we got to go underneath and put these on and hook it up to the rear case. We are now underneath the truck, and we got to install these tie rods on the triple stick. You get to see this is not a whole lot of room to work with, and hate to say I almost want to just lower this transfer case down so it's easier to get to, and well, honestly I might actually do that, but all right, here it is. This is the not the final install of the triple stick. I truly think I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment to these rods, because I think I want these levers to come back a little bit. So I gotta take the rods off, I gotta cut them, shorten them, and put them back in. So, but that's going to be a job for another day. But I've achieved my goal. The hole in the transfer case is plugged, so I don't have to worry about dirt getting in there. So and like I said, I got to see my transfer case shift set up. So so once again, how this works is this lever right here is it's in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Then if I'm in high range, then if I want a single low, that's a single low, that's a double low, that's a triple low. That's very low. I can't wait to show you. So all right, I ended up cutting a little bit more than I originally planned to, but let's see what kind of fit we got. Well, that doesn't look too bad. So if you look up in here, I can shift in 2-wheel drive. I actually got a little bit of room. I mean, if I pull the transmission down into low, I might have to adjust this back a little bit, but that's 100% doable. And like I said, I do have this shifter cocked to one side a little bit. I might also have to tweak and bend this shifter over just a little bit, just to have a little bit more room. But all in all, this actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So now I'm going to go ahead and see about, we're just going to throw a couple bolts in here. We're just going to put 2 bolts in it for now, just because this is when I come to do the interior, all this is going to get done. But I would like to hold this in place just so when I work with other stuff and when I get it to run, it's there ready to go. So tell you what, hold tight and let me just I'm going to come on back and we're going to drill a couple holes and just put 2 bolts in this to hold it in for the time being. Alright, and if you've never worked with a fastener like this is called a nut zerk. It could be called a riv nut. It can be called a lot of different things. I call them nut zerks, just that's what they were referred to the first time I used them, so that's what I use. So these are actually very, very handy. They don't for certain applications. And basically, the equivalent of what this is like a pop rivet, but with threads in the middle. So if I didn't use them, I'd have to drill these holes, and I'd have to have a nut on the back side, which could probably be difficult, or I'd have to weld the nut. So once again, so all I had to do was drill a hole to 3/8, put this in, and then I have this tool here that will crimp it and set it. So put it in the hole, squeeze it just like a pop rivet, thread it out, and voila, you have instant threads, and you don't have a nut on the back side. And the nice thing is, if the threads ever get screwed up, all you gotta do is take a 3/8 drill bit, and you can drill that insert out and put another one in. So very, very useful tool for the right application. So and this is the bolts I'm using are 1/4-20s. But I actually have nut zerks that go all the way up that take a 1/2-inch coarse threaded bolt. So like I said, very, very handy. I really like using them for the right application. So, and for this, it's actually going to work very, very well. Alright, well there you have it. Shifter's installed. Everything clears. I'm going to have to do a little bit of final adjustment on it, but everything clears. So, but now I'm going to go ahead and hook see what we got to do to hook the linkage up to the transmission on the underside. So let's get the truck up in the air and let's go underneath. And just in case you didn't notice, yes, I did put the second transmission mount in. So I did do that just in case you didn't notice. All right, I hope the audio, I hope you can hear me okay. All right, we are underneath the truck. I hope you can hear me okay with the audio. But down here you're going to see this is the shifter for the shift selector on the transmission, and here is the bottom of the shifter that's up in the cab. So now to keep this simple, they are both in park. So transmission is in park and the shifter is in park. So now we have to take this rod and it's going to go right there, put with a bolt in there like that, and just by that it looks like we're a little bit too long. So we are going to have to take about 2 3/4 of an inch. We're going to have to shorten this rod about 2 3/4 of an inch. We're going to cut it, shorten it, and then we're going to have to reinforce it so we don't have any issues with this rod breaking on us. So, but that, and also this nut is rusted on there. I haven't been able to get it off, so I'm going to go put the smoke wrench on it to get it off. After I do that, then I got to go to the hardware store, get a right size bolt for this and nut, get a new nut for that, and a little piece of angle iron to reinforce this, and then we can weld it all up and put it back together. So, all right, let's keep going. there you have it. And part's still usable. So smoke wrench is very handy when you need it. So now, well, tell you what, let this cool off. I'm gonna get this cleaned up and go to the hardware store, grab some new hardware, and let's see if we can cut this thing short. Cut this, shorten it, and see if we can get it installed. Alright, while I was off camera, I got a little bit of work done. This is the shift linkage. I went ahead and took 2 3/4 of an inch out of the rod. I shortened it and I welded it back together. And I went ahead and threw a coat of paint on it just so it wouldn't rust like everything else is on that shifter. And then I even went ahead and got some new fasteners for it, which the bolt that goes through here, I got a stop nut to go on the bolt just so it won't vibrate loose. So because you don't want to clamp this all the way tight. But all right, I say let's go throw this on the truck. All right, now that we're back under the truck, let's see if we can make this fit. Oops, got it backwards. I would have figured it out sooner or later. Well, there it goes. It's all bolted up. Now I may end up having to replace the bushings in the shifter, but I can do that at any time. So let's go up top and let's see if this thing shifts. Well, here you go. Shifter is hitting every gear in the transmission, so that is great. Now please keep in mind, this is not the finished product. Like I said, I'm just mounting this and hooking it up. I'm going to be when I do the interior, I'm going to be patching all these holes. I'm going to be putting a shifter boot on these. And like I said, it's going to get there's going to be a lot done to the interior, but this is what it is. So now I will say I'm going to have to adjust the mode shifter because when I'm in 2-wheel drive, it hits it when I pull down into low, but that can be fixed. That's very fixed. We can very much fix that. That's going to have to be bent over just a little bit. Not a big deal. So, so far I'm very happy with with all the shifters. This is working very, very well. So excellent. So well, I guess that means we can move on working on some other stuff. Well, I got all the shifters installed. Although there needs to be a little bit more tweaking, I'm pretty happy with how it's coming together. We're making a lot of good progress on Inferno. We still got a lot more to go. Like I said, I'm really having fun. I'm really enjoying doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy watching the videos just as much as I enjoy making them and doing all this stuff. So, to end the video out like I normally do, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel and you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. And once again, if you like the video, please share it with your friends. And so I'll see you on the next one.